Welcome to all my family out there. How are we doing today? As always, we're very happy to be here with you. And as always, greetings of honor to everyone out there from Ifila Ministry. The purpose of Ifila Ministry is to bridge the gap between man and God. Even when we don't know how to do it, we have clarity that Morimi, Ifila, the strong arms of everlasting God will guide us all the way. Last week we had a discussion about the second part of just like the days of Noah, and we linked that to feminine energy, how important it is, and how every one of us should realize the importance of feminine energy in order that every one of us on the planet will be able to have a fruitful life according to the ways of God. This week, what we're going to talk about is based on concept of God. What is concept? Concept means a general overview of ideas, but let's direct that to the concept of God. The simple way to assert the meaning of concept of God is you can make God into what you want or what you need God to be. This concept of God has done its term because God did not write that space and time to be permanent. Now, let's try and link that concept of God to 10 Commandments. And let's mention a couple of the 10 Commandments. I think one of these will be do not kill. Do not kill. You're not even allowed to kill yourself, let alone somebody else. Honor your father and your morimi, and you're not supposed to tell a lie to bear a false witness against somebody else. That's just to mention a few. But from clarity purpose, I think that 10 Commandments, another one should be added to it, which would be the 11th commandment. And like we know already, when we align 11 the other way, we have it as a line of equity, meaning equals to. That's what 11 will be when it's standing. And that concept is saying to us, God, that is not I think concept, when we look at 10 Commandments, that's not a concept. That's the one thing that every one of us will have to, it's like everybody must move on a straight path, which is explaining to us that every one of us have a straight path, and we must be able to align ourselves in that order so that nobody will transgress or interrupt somebody else's path. So the 10th commandment is not a concept, it's a way of life. And the 11th one that the clarity has given us is that God is not something you look for. God is everything that you have to become. Now, let's look at that from a clarity angle. The Bible explains to us the importance of going straight path. I think it's on Proverbs 3:25. Let your eyes look directly forward and your gaze be straight. Did you hear the word straight in that? And let's look at it from Quran aspect as well. I think Alafia, meaning Ifatia, Alafia. The opening, Alafia. It says, I think it's 6. Guide us to the straight path. The path of those whom God has bestowed grace and honor. That is not a concept. That is a way of God. Now, can anyone out there come out and say that they are straight? In today's world that we live in, it is almost impossible for anyone to come and say that they are straight. Now, why do we know the 10th commandment that is now 11th commandment of God, and we don't do it? People do not practice it. Rather, people practice concepts of God. I have clarity that God had allowed concept of God to reign for quite a while, because that long period of time is just like a blink of an eye to God. God is everlasting. God does not allow things that are not straight to take place. But what God has allowed us to run with that time is the interpretation. Every community in the world have their own interpretation of God, which is very much embedded in their text. For example, Hindu religion, we have clarity that they take cow to be more important. To them, cow is sacred. Who will argue with that? Cow have a life of its own. It's a living, breathing life. Some, it could be dog, some, it could be frog, some, it could be lizard. Everybody have their own interpretation or concept of God. But the clarity is all of this concept, the interpretation came forth from the writings of God, which can be linked all the way back to Yoruba people, which is oral. Abalaye, meaning the written word of God that was here for everyone on the planet in this world to follow. We're not here to apportion blame, of course not, but we're here to just bring that clarity to life, that we cannot run our life by concept of God anymore. That straight path, God time that we all know is gonna come, is here now, whereby everyone must move in alignment with life, not death, because concept of God allow people to misinterpret the purpose of God. And now that God is here, inarguably, we are gonna have to have clarity as to God is genuinely and truly living among us, and is light of God that gives clarity to everything that we do, that will allow every one of us to be on a straight path, to be in alignment, the same way as the stars above are in alignment. The concept of God is very much related to everyone's culture. And from that, religion was created, which makes people to rely on it, and they join religion. It's just religion does not particularly allow us on that straight path. We will talk about it, but people just don't practice that straight path. So the time for the concept of God has done its term. It is now that we have to follow that straight path. Every community in the world must follow that straight path of God way, because that's the one thing that keeps all of us as one. And all the misinterpretation will have to come to an end. And the only thing that I have clarity that we all need to work on, which is plenty of things we all need to work on, but it's all going to be a step at a time process. But one thing that is clear is we need to have clarity as to how God is precisely living in our midst and how we can align ourselves with that. Anytime that we're thinking of God, we must first think ancestors and generations. And this is one of the most important reasons why I take time out to celebrate ancestors and generations that we are and that we are always going to be. As always, it's Alafia Ministries tradition. We're taking this opportunity today to celebrate all ancestors and celebrate all generations, the energy of life that we are, that we are always going to be. God's straight path is very uplifting. God's straight path is very beautiful. When we allow ourselves to align with that, it's unquestionable that we're all going to be happy that we did. In fact, we're going to be asking ourselves, if only we knew, we should have done this earlier. God is beautiful. The light of God is beautiful. Is the light of God, everlasting God, Alafia, is beautiful. It's that which we call light of dawn. Is here. We have to be able to be willing to connect with God way, not concept, God way, to have a glimpse of what the Alafia ministry is talking about. This is not just a talk. This is real life, real experience for me that I'm bringing forth to every family out there. The Ibadah for today, meaning praise. I am certain that every one of us is going through one bondage or the other. Today, every one of that bondage that we're going through are broken permanently. We are all released from all bondage forever. Alafia to all out there, and I keep all my Alafia to myself as well. Start your self-cleansing renewal process today. Call renewal into your life today. Nothing is impossible when you are in Alafia and when Alafia is in you, meaning light of life. Call light of life into your life today. Alafia is not a concept. It's real life. It's a way of God from the onset. Now it is time for us to take that new approach. And when we are able to do that, we will find that living our lives in the way of God is not difficult. Yes, it is not a simple-minded process, but it is not difficult. Everlasting strong arms of God, Alafia, makes that path beautiful. You just have to be determined and say to yourself, you are tired of bondage, you're tired of not being able to see your relationship with God. Because when you're able to see your relationship with God in your own space, not on anybody else's expense, in your own space, then you're able to see your relationship with God, you will not want somebody else's space. And the beautiful things about being connected with light of God is that you really don't want to go back. You wouldn't. And if anything comes to even want to take you back, Morimi Phyla is always there. Strong arms of God is always there to keep you standing strong, firm and strong, same as the Rock of Ages. I don't like to say ages, but in this case, I think I'm allowed to say Rock of Ages, meaning rock, light of God, that is brighter than we can ever conceptualize. Ages 1 is beautiful. Therefore, start your renewal process today. That is the instruction of today. Start your renewal process now. And Morimi Phyla, strong arms of God will keep you in your light. Always. Alafia. Now, nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ sọ fún àwa Yorùbá, àwa ọmọ Ọbàtálá out there ni pé àti gbogbo èèyàn yòókù, pàápàá jùlọ àwọn àfà cleric, Muslim clerics. Èmi ò mọ ti ìlú mi o, èmi ń sọ ti Africa. And eléyìí ìwà tọ́ka sẹ́ni kankan torí tí mo fẹ́ sọ ó wà ní family tèmi náà tí wọ́n practice. So mo mú wá gẹ́gẹ́ bí Morimi Phyla ṣe là mí lóye pé kí n ṣàlàyé rẹ̀ fún wa, àwọn ìgbésẹ̀ tá a gbọ́dọ̀ gbé kí olè má bàa lè kó wa lẹ́rù lọ mọ́, kó má bàa lè máa sọ àwọn ọmọ wa sẹ́wọ̀n mọ́, kó má bàa lè máa pa àwọn ọmọ tí wọn ò ṣẹ̀ ẹnì kankan. Kò sí tí ń jẹ́ ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ o, orí wa yóò máa tẹ̀lé ẹsẹ̀ wa débi ire wa o. Nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ sọ ni pé gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tá a máa ń jó, tá a máa fi ń jóná, kí o máa pa láǹgbá, kí o máa jó nǹkan mọ́ nǹkan táwọn àfáà máa ń ṣe. Àsìkò gbogbo eléyìí ó ti àlè máa ṣe gbogbo eléyìí mọ́, ó ti dópin torí pé àwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyí wọ́n ní dáadáa tí wọ́n àmọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Àmọ́ a gbọ́dọ̀ lọ sókè nísìn as people, as a nation, as the pace setter of God way. A lè máa ṣe àwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyí mọ́ torí pé aláǹgbá ní ẹ̀mí tiẹ̀, frog ó ní ẹ̀mí tiẹ̀, ajá náà ní ẹ̀mí tiẹ̀. Lè ká mọ́ pa ajá bọ̀gùn mọ́. Wọ́n ti àwọn iṣẹ́ tá a ṣe gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn ẹ̀yà tí Ọlọ́run tó fi ṣe aṣíwájú táwọn àwọn èèyàn míì gbọ́dọ̀ máa wò láti fi ṣe àwòkọ́ṣe, àti a gbọ́dọ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ náà báyìí. Ara ìgbésẹ̀ tá a gbọ́dọ̀ máa gbé lọ́kọ̀ọ̀kan náà ni step at a time, ni pé ká mọ́ pa àwọn nǹkan abẹ̀mímọ́ ayé, ká mọ́ pàjábọ̀ ògùn mọ́. Eléyìí ó ṣe pàtàkì. Àwọn tí wọ́n ń pàjábọ̀ ògùn kó má pàjábọ̀ ògùn mọ́, tó láwọn èèyàn míì concept Ọlọ́run tí wọ́n nìyẹn. So aláǹgbá tẹ́wọ̀n fi ń jó nǹkan jó, herb ló yẹ, gbogbo ewé àti egbò nǹkan tó wà fún ni pé ká máa fi ṣe ara wa lóge nínú àti níta. kí wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní rewind, kó refer back to bẹ́yìn bàbá wa bẹ́yìn ṣe ń ṣe. Àmọ́ kí wọ́n wá ká wá mú ti Mọ́remí Fàlà ká fi gbé, tí Ọbàtálá ni ká fi gbé lọ síwájú, ká má fi gbogbo ẹ̀tàn tí wọ́n ti tàn wá, kéèyàn máa jó nǹkan mọ́ nǹkan, kéèyàn máa lọ ṣògùn owó, kéèyàn máa nígbà tá a ti wọnú ìgbà ìlà báyìí, tá a ti wọnú ìgbàlà báyìí, tá a ti wọnú ìmọ́lẹ̀ ọlọ ohun, tá a ti wọnú ìmọ́lẹ̀ báyìí. Àwọn practices wọ̀nyí ó pọ̀ tá à ń ṣe tí kò bá ìmọ́lẹ̀ mu, tá a sì gbọ́dọ̀ fòpin sí. Èyí tí mo fẹ́ sọ lónìí méjì náà ni pé ẹ má pajá bọ̀gún mọ́. Mọ́remí Fàlà sọ fún mi pé ogun tèmi ò jájá, ìgbàlà ò jẹ́ tuntun ní orílẹ̀-èdè ọ̀rọ̀ àbáláyé. Gbogbo àwọn ìṣesí wọ̀nyí wọn ò mú ìmọ́lẹ̀ lọ́wọ́. A ti sọ tẹ́lẹ̀ pé ẹbọ rúrú ká kọ́kọ́ gbé sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ kan náà, torí pé Ọlọ́run kọ́ ni ẹgbẹ́ ẹbọ fún. Ẹ̀dá ò sì gbọ́dọ̀ mọ̀ sí ẹ̀dá mi. Ọlọ́run ní ṣe wá ní orílẹ̀-èdè tí ò ní gbélé. Ètùtù téèyàn bá sì ṣe ó gbọ́dọ̀ bá ìmọ́lẹ̀ mu. A dúpẹ́ pé ẹ̀tàn ó ti dópin nínú ayé wa lónìí, àmọ́ ó ní ìgbésẹ̀ téèyàn gbọ́dọ̀ mọ̀ pé ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìgbésẹ̀ lónìí, torí Áfíríkà gangan ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ayé o. Áfíríkà gangan ibẹ̀ ni ọ̀rọ̀ àbáláyé ti wá. Òun náà ni Ifá Ìlà, strong hands of everlasting God. Àní máa ṣògùn owó ká tó jẹun mọ́ Áfíríkà. Kò dìgbà téèyàn bá ń fọmọ rẹ̀ ṣògùn owó, tó kàn fìyàwó ṣògùn owó, ọmọ 25, ọmọ 25 tí ò tí ì mọ ení dépò pé ó mọ ìjì, tó fẹ́ gun jeep nísìn, tó fẹ́ kọ́ ilé alárànbarà lónìí. Ìmọ́lẹ̀ ti wọnú ayé wa wá o. Ifá Ìlà tó fi ta méjì o pé kí n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní máa wá sọ àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ ìmọ́lẹ̀ pẹ̀lú wa o. Ìgbà ìlà yóò tọ́ wa sọ́nà. Alafia to all. I keep all my Alafia to myself forever. We give honor to life in every ways. And we have clarity that Mọ́remí Fàlà will keep us beyond next week.